With great podcast comes great responsibility. It's a good thing we're just listening to the nice guys on business. No responsibility here.
We typically get anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 or 4,000 downloads an episode. But we hear from the same 4, 5, 6, 7 people over and over and over again. So where are the other 2,000, 3,000? And, on the one hand, we could be like, you guys fucking suck. You don't do anything. You don't listen to us. We tell you to call. You don't do anything. But the reality is there are people out there who just enjoy listening. And you know what? For those of you out there who just enjoy listening and you don't feel like calling in, thank you for listening. Don't let us shame you into feeling bad for not calling in. I mean, we're probably still going to keep trying to do it, but don't let us do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, funkin' fans of all ages, the nice guys on business proudly bring to you the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland fucking Bonner.
Most days they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the king of fuckery, Strickland Bonner.
Hey there, honey fans. Welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, nope, not Mr. Doug Sandler today. Nope. Not Emily, not Jenny, not, who else? Jared, not Tim. Nope. It's just me and my friend, Mr. Ball. That's right, Mr. Fireball. You're stuck with me today. So Doug's got this thing, Jewel, his 65 Mustang, is out for rental. And we just couldn't coordinate the schedule. So I thought, I could just post like a recap, a classic rewind episode. I mean, we've only got 1,400 of them or something, but I thought, you know what? We got 5 voicemails, 5 goddamn voicemails, and they are very much like avocados. They go bad really quickly. Didn't want to let them sit another week. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to pour me a good solid shot of Fireball. I'll have a couple sips and, see what we can do if I can make something entertaining. So, I'm recording on Zoom. I know Zoom's got that damn, the noise canceling thing, like where it's trying to, I could just change that. Hold on. It's trying to clean up my audio, right? Like if it hears some noise in the background, it's going to try to clean it up and shit. And so like if what I just did just a few minutes ago, I was like shaking my drink in front of the microphone to hearing the ice clink with my Fireball. But if Zoom is doing its great job removing background noise, it's going to see that as background noise. So here, how do we do the Zoom background noise removal? Turn that shit off. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Original sound for musicians. That's what I want. Goddamn, so many fucking settings on here. Original sound for musicians, high fidelity music mode, echo cancellation. Ooh, stereo audio. No, I don't need fucking stereo audio. I think I want high fidelity music mode for highest quality music, increased CPU utilization, consumes greater network bandwidth for best results, and Ethernet connection is strongly recommended. That's fine. Let's do that. Echo cancellation, don't care about because it's just fucking me. I'm not going to hear any echo because there's nobody else here. Okay, let's try that again. Audio profile, we're good. We did that. Now let's see. Do you hear the glass clinking? That's right. Me and my Fireball. Hold on one second. Delicious as ever. Okay, so Joel, Doug gets this gig where he rents his Mustang out for 2 days for a commercial. And if you're in the Facebook group, you can see pictures. If you're not in the Facebook group, niceshortcut.com. That's right, niceshortcut.com. How did we get the URL? I don't fucking know. I just know that we've got it and I'm happy about it. You go there, answer a question or two, and we'll let you in. And you can see that Doug's got like a couple of supermodels in his Mustang because they're shooting a insurance commercial or some shit. So the commercial's at Universal, right, in LA. And he lives in Ojai, California, about 90 minutes away. So he drives to Universal, and it's supposed to be a 2-day shoot. And so they give him actually passes to Universal Studios and a hotel to stay overnight at Universal Studios. But on the first day, they're done at like 3:00. So he's in the turnkey meeting about 30 minutes after they finish up, and he's driving. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I'm driving home. Why? You know me. I like my bed, right? And I just want to go home. I want to sleep in my bed. And I want to see my girlfriend. Like just for perspective, a little context. He's been living with JJ for 5 years. So they see and they work from home. They both work from home. So they see each other 24/7. And he's away from like 7 a.m. until 3 in the afternoon. He's like, yeah, I just want to go home. I'd rather do that than go have a fun day at Universal Studios Park, wandering around and doing entertaining shit, and then just crashing in my free hotel room where I can just, sleep late till like 8:30 and get, no, I'd rather drive 90 minutes home, sleep in my bed, get up at the crack of fucking dawn to drive back the next day. Dude, whatever. I'm not giving you shit, Doug, but no, I am actually. I'm giving you a lot of shit because we're just different people. You know what? There's nothing wrong with you being you, Doug. We're just different people. Okay. That's it. Because I would never fucking do that. Anyway, so what do I have to talk about? Fucking nothing. I have no idea. The Trump trial is going on and they've got 12 jurors seated as of today. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to get all political and shit. I mean, unless one of our or more of our 5 voicemails or something about that, I might comment on it. But here's the deal. I'm going to see how long this is. If I feel it's long enough for an episode, I'll just do it as an episode. If not, this will be the intro to a classic rewind episode, and I'll find an old one that, you guys probably haven't heard in a while. But anyway, while we're here, let's see. I'm on Zoom, but I'm on Zoom by myself, so it's a bit weird. So I need to share my screen with myself, and I need to share my sound with myself. Where the hell is that share sound thing now? Can I do that? That's weird. It's telling me I can share my screen, but it's not saying share sound. Do I have to share sound with myself? That's fucked up. Oh, there it is. It's just in a new place. Okay, share sound. There we go. Because I've got it all set up here, and I want to make sure you guys are hearing it. Of course, I won't be able to confirm that you're hearing it until actually that it's done record. Fuck it. Okay. Anyway, let's just get on with it here. We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. A voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all. I was going to go right into the voicemail and not stop and pause, but God, it just feels weird, right? Like I'm just waiting for Doug to chime in and I have to hit the pause button, the stop button before we get to the voicemail. It just didn't feel right. So in honor of Doug not being here, I'm pausing, I'm interrupting, I'm saying something, and that's done. So let's get to the voicemails.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. Jared here. So 27 minutes in, and Strick, you pulled out the welcome back.
Oh! Goddamn right.
Dude, that was fucking awesome. You guys pulled me into the show so much today, I didn't even realize you hadn't said it. Because, you guys right off the line were firing into the conversation that just sucked me in. So, holy cow. That was awesome. So, well done, fellas. I had to call and give you some accolades, man, because as much as I love you guys and love the show, you guys, anyway, appreciate you, and yeah, I'm 27 minutes in and can't wait to finish. See if I was.
Jared, you're so welcome. I got to tell you, we've done 1,500 episodes almost now, right? And I've been on probably less than half. I don't know. I've probably been on 600 of those episodes, right? And of course, one of the rules of podcasting that we were told years ago, introduce yourself, because you never know when someone is listening for the very first time. So that's why I always say, welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, usually, is Mr. Doug Sandler, but not today. And I said it right up front today, but it's funny because as soon as we hit record and Doug and I go off on like 27 tangents, there's this weird little voice in the back of my head that's like, don't forget to say welcome back. Don't forget to fucking say welcome back. You haven't fucking said it yet. I didn't realize we were 27 minutes in. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. There is one specific time I remember not saying it, and I remember not saying it because Jared called us out on it. I did not realize at the time that I hadn't said it, but Jared, who is the man, the myth, the legend, and is keeping us honest, he pointed it out to us. But that was like a year and a half ago. So, Jared, thank you so much for keeping in mind the thing that is niggling at the back of my mind all the time when I'm recording is that, did I say welcome back, welcome back? Well, I made sure to start this episode with it because by the time I get to the end of this episode, if I keep drinking the Fireball, which that's what the voicemails are for, I can take sips of my Fireball while the voicemails are playing, and you guys won't even know it. But it could impair my ability to remember to say, welcome back, welcome back. So that's why I did it right up front. But hey, we got 4 more voicemails. So let's see what else is going on.
Hi, guys. It has been forever. This is Emily.
Emily!
I'm listening to your episode right now, and you guys are talking about all of the leftovers in Strickland's fridge and how JJ eats everything on her plate because of how she grew up, and how Doug stopped turning salt. I, too, eat everything. Well, no, I stop when I'm full. But that said, we never have leftovers in our house. I think there are people that have leftovers and people that just don't. So I would be curious to hear from other listeners if they have a lot of leftovers in their fridge. And if so, do they do so intentionally? We just do not have leftovers. We always make exactly enough for just us. And also, when I was growing up, you made me think of something. When I was growing up, we used to have something called leftover night, which was like literally all the leftovers in our fridge were just put on the counter and everybody would like make a plate. That is the most repulsive memory in my mind. Like that was scarring. I never liked dinner the first time when we had it. So then when it was leftover night, it was just like that gone a little bit worse, and I can't say that there weren't some spoiled, rotten, moldy items that were put on the table for whoever wanted to grab them. So anyway, that was my random share about leftovers. And now back to the episode.
Emily, thank you for calling in. We miss you. That's a really great call. Listeners, please call 4242 DJ Doug and let us know your feelings on leftovers. Personally, okay. When I'm cooking for myself, I mean, it depends what I'm cooking, but typically there's no tweener, right? Like I will cook chili sometimes, and I'll usually use 1 or 2 pounds of sometimes ground beef, but a lot of times I use ground turkey or Beyond Meat if I want to make a veggie version. And when I do that, I specifically make enough that I want to have leftovers, and chili is usually really good, leftover later. But Emily, I agree with you 100%. Typically, especially growing up, like I didn't like it the fucking first time. Why would I like the leftover version? So when I cook for myself, I will typically try to cook just enough so that it's for me, except that can be a little deceiving. So there are 2 things that I cook that I kind of call myself, I call comfort food, when I'm like really in the mood, for something just like gooey and that would be, mac and cheese, Kraft thick and creamy, of course, not the regular mac and cheese, thick and creamy, or Hamburger Helper, hamburger stroganoff. Okay. Now, a couple of things. First of all, Hamburger Helper, hamburger stroganoff, I usually do with ground turkey instead of ground beef. They're both tasty. not like I have something against ground beef, but I've just gotten used to ground turkey. I really like that a lot. When I make mac and cheese, I will typically get like ham or turkey ham and chop it up into cubes and mix it in. That's really good. The other night, this was actually just 3 nights ago, maybe. I made mac and cheese and I had like a third of a pound of leftover sausage that my daughter had made some food with, and it was like just, not enough to make hamburger stroganoff, right? You need a whole pound. It was like a third of a pound. And it's sitting in the fridge, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna chop that up. And by the way, this was not like sausage patties. This was like sausage, kind of like ground beef, ground turkey, right? I ended up mixing that in with the Kraft thick and creamy mac and cheese. Oh, so fucking good. It was really good. I would definitely do it again. But here's the problem. I'm not as thin as Doug. I mean, very few people over 50 are as thin as Doug. But I do try to keep my girlish figure as much as possible. I do my yoga, I try to walk. I fucking hate working out, so I don't do that. But to stay in relatively decent shape, I typically eat 1 meal a day. I haven't talked about that in a while. It's one of those things where like it seemed like it was really hard at first, but I got used to it kind of quick. So, afternoon, like 12, 1 o'clock, sometimes I'll have a snack, but sometimes I skip it. Like maybe I'll have, a couple of chips or I've got like some trail mix. I'll do like a quarter cup of trail mix, just a couple snacks. And then I'll have like a meal. I'll skip breakfast, skip dinner. And then I have a whole meal at dinner. And some people are like, well, why don't you just eat less? It's like, no, I fucking love food. I love to fucking eat. And so when I do mac and cheese, yeah, could I eat enough that there's some left over? I could, but I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, I'm not going to eat half of it, right? Because half isn't enough. So if I'm going to eat like 2/3 or like 3/4, no, I'm not going to leave a little tiny bit. I'm going to fucking eat it all. When I make hamburger stroganoff, though, it's kind of worse because it's like a pound. It's a whole goddamn pound of ground turkey or ground beef and the pasta and the other stuff. And every once in a while, I'll leave some, but often I end up eating the whole goddamn thing. It's bad. But it tastes so fucking good. There was some point I had to that. I don't remember what it is, but anyway. Oh yeah, call in 4242 DJ Doug. Tell us your feelings on leftovers. And we've got, thank you, Emily. Thank you so much. We miss you like crazy. We need to get you back on sometime soon. Voicemail number 3 of 5 voicemails. Here's number 3.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strickland here. Voicemail number 2. So you guys are on voicemails, and Erica is telling her version of the cupcake story, or however you want to put it. Talking about cupcakes. Now I'm just thinking about cupcakes. I want to eat some cupcakes. But anyway, I don't think of myself as vanilla. There's not much vanilla about me. I think of myself more with the show, like I'm the chocolate chip. So they get mixed into the batter, and I'm not really part of things, but I just intrude and I make things taste a little bit sweeter. Unless, of course, you don't like my voicemails, and then it's kind of like you have a nut allergy, and I'm walnuts mixed in there, so I just kill it for you. But either way, I'm something mixed in. I can't go with the vanilla side of things. I love the show. Oh, and Erica. Nice touch on Steve O'Brien being the cupcake paper. All right, guys. Appreciate you, and great episode today. Loved it. And like I said, you had me right from the get-go. Talk with you soon. See you, fellas.
Okay, Jared, a couple things. First of all, for you to say we don't like your voicemails, excuse me, dude, but just fuck the fuck off. Are you fucking kidding? Like, when we have nothing else to fucking talk about, we need your goddamn voicemails. We had a goddamn, we commissioned a fucking song for you for your voicemails. I know you're just kind of being humble and being honest, but dude, I want to reiterate, we love your fucking voicemails. Don't ever stop fucking calling and leaving voicemails. Okay? Thank you. If we haven't said it enough, Jared, thank you. In fact, you know what? since it's my episode today, I am going to put a little Jared Love, a little extra Jared Love in the intro. Maybe a little Jared Love in the, if you stick around for some Easter egg action, you might hear a little Jared Love. Okay. Not going to say anything else, but dude, thank you for being you. We appreciate you calling in. And by the way, that is not to minimize anyone else who calls in because, Emily, we love your voicemails. Erica, we love your voicemails. Sean Carpenter, you haven't called in a while, but dude, we appreciate the times that you do call in and we really appreciate your texting. Sean Carpenter and Doug and I have a little text message thread going, and we hear from Sean every once in a while. And by the way, I get like letters from Sean Carpenter, like a little note, a handwritten note. Dude, you are the motherfucking man right there, Sean Carpenter. I love that shit. I forget about it and I don't think about it. And then I get something in the mail and I'm like, what the fuck? Sean fucking Carpenter, dude. You are the goddamn man. I appreciate you. And our newer fucking fans, Sally lives in like Round Rock, which, by the way, for those of you that don't know Texas geography, and there's a lot not to know about Texas geography because it's fucking big. I'm in Georgetown, Texas, which is basically a suburb of Austin. Sally Nava, apparently, according to Facebook, is in Round Rock, Texas, which is where I used to live, and like 10 minutes away from me. I might have to look her up. I mean, she's kind of cute. I mean, if Doug were here, Doug would be like, dude, you're creeping. Like, don't be a fucking creep. But I don't know. She's been calling in. Like, oh yeah, she's married though. Shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't want to be like singing "Gimme 3 Steps" in my sleep with her husband, like jumping in and okay. Forget I said that. I'm gonna edit that shit out. Let's get to the next voicemail.
Now I'm at the scammy messages part, and I get those all the time too. They're super annoying. But listen to this. I heard an episode of Search Engine, and this guy, an investigative journalist, goes around the world and gets to the root of these spammy messages and who's sending them. And what he finds, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Link to the episode, just let me know. But there is a dark side to those messages. Let me just say that. And there are some people.
Something that Jared mentioned when he called. The topic of.
Oops, wait a minute. Apologies. I think I clicked something and it skipped over to the next voicemail. I kind of want to run back to the beginning of that anyway, because Erica mentioned spammy voicemails, but she heard an episode of something and I didn't catch the name of the podcast that she was saying that it was from. And hey, Erica, by the way, just a little tip, by the way. Okay. It's hard to say this. Well, hard to say this because I've had a couple of fireballs, but hard to say this because I do not want to sound like I'm like chiding you or like putting you down, because we so appreciate you calling. But for a little context, the Jared, let's call it the Jared protocol. This is a good call. The Jared voicemail protocol. Jared voicemail protocol is typically, hey guys, how are you doing? Listen to the episode and you're talking about XXX. Because if you don't premise with, hey, you guys are talking about, we don't fucking remember. Like 10 minutes after we stop recording, I don't fucking remember what we talked about. So, Emily, you jumped in talking about something about spam calls. I have no idea. Did we have that as a conversation last time? I mean, when we hear your voice, we're okay with anything random you want to jump in with. It's okay if it is something completely random that has nothing to do with anything we talked about. But if you are actually referencing something we talked about in the episode, it would be super duper helpful if you said, hey, I'm listening to you guys and you're talking about X, Y, and Z, because we don't fucking remember. Well, that was it. That's like just like preface, like we need context because we just, we don't remember what the hell we talked about. I want to go back to the beginning of Emily's message. Let's check this out.
Now I'm at the scammy messages part, and I get those all the time too. They're super annoying. But listen to this. I heard an episode of Search Engine,
I want to stop it right there because I really just want to turn the volume up on that because I still can't tell what the episode, what show it is. Hold on, right here.
Episode of Search Engine.
Search Engine. Hold on.
Episode of Search Engine.
Search Engine. Thank you. I think she said the show is called Search Engine. I'm going to look it up while we're hearing the rest of the message.
And this guy, an investigative journalist, goes around the world and gets to the root of these spammy messages and who's sending them and what he finds. I'm not going to ruin it for you. Link to the episode, just let me know. But there is a dark side to those messages. Let me just say that. And there are some people who are not being treated very well. So I didn't mean to be this isn't to be a Debbie Downer. This is to provoke curiosity and incite more interest in who is behind asking you to go golfing and meet up for a date on the lake. I've got some intel.
Oh my God. Thank you, Emily. Actually, I'm really glad I replayed that because I literally just got a message today like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? And it's like, it's just fucking random fucking spam messages. And I kind of want to fuck with them when that happens. And I can't remember some of the responses that I've seen, but it's some things like, hey, I told you not to reach out. Look, the body is at the bottom of the lake, but we can't have any more contact. Okay. I don't want anyone to, some shit like that. Anyway, I did look up the show podcast Search Engine, and I did find the episode Who's Behind Those Scammy Text Messages We've All Been Getting. And I will put a link into the show notes, but I got to tell you, I started at the top of the list, the most recent episodes of the Search Engine podcast. And I got to admit, I'm clicking the follow button right now because the first episode is, do political yard signs actually do anything? Okay, whatever, no big deal, right? But then the next one, and this is a two-parter, why are there so many illegal weed stores in New York City? Okay, that's kind of funny. And then the next episode is a big announcement from Search Engine Plus. What's in your cocaine? And then the next episode is, how do we survive the media apocalypse? This sounds like a really fucking interesting podcast. So I am grabbing the link right now for who's behind those scammy text messages we've all been getting. And I will be putting that into the show notes. Okay. One more episode. We're like 25 minutes in. I don't know this. Well, normally I would say, hey, this is getting to be close to like the regular length for a real episode. But our average episode like a year and a half, 2 years ago was probably 25, 35, maybe 40 minutes. But fuck, our episodes lately have been like an hour or more. I don't know. Got to decide if I want it. Maybe I'll find an old episode of ours that's short and tack it onto the end as the classic rewind. And if you want to listen, listen. And if you don't, fucking don't. Who cares, right? Okay, anyway, one more voicemail. Let's see who it's from.
Good morning, fellas. Well, it's morning for me. Who knows what time it is for anybody listening? Guess what?
It sounds like Sally. Sally, yeah.
And I am calling because I'm still stretching that comfort zone and leaving a voice message. I am thinking about something that Jared mentioned when he called, the topic of sources being biased, left-leaning, right-leaning. And is there really any source that isn't left-leaning or right-leaning is what it's got me thinking. So what then, as consumers who are hoping to be unbiased in receiving information, is our responsibility when we're sourcing information? It's just got my wheels turning. So I'm wondering, do you feel like there are places that you go to receive the least biased information? I don't love listening to news because I typically get a little depressed, but I think that it's something that I need to do as a steward of making the world a better place. So I try to, but I'm typically just picking up articles here and there from people who I know who are posting them. I don't listen to any newscasting regularly. So yeah, interested in your feedback on that. Alrighty. Have a super day. Love the show. Bye.
Okay. Man, we got all this cute, silly, funny messages. And then Sally's was like serious. And it's like, okay, after a good 3/4 of a drink of Fireball. And by the way, 3/4 of a drink is like, well, I'll tell you how big the drink is with the outro from Steve O'Brien. But like, I gotta clear the brain up because what she said is really relevant because I absolutely agree with that. I think is the daily that we were talking about, is it biased to the left? My perspective personally is probably left leaning, progressive leaning, and I feel that the daily sometimes leans left, but is generally somewhat centrist. But again, my perspective is from someone who is left leaning. So I totally understand where Jared, who I feel is someone who is slightly right leaning, would say that 1440 died yet. No, 14, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. The daily is pretty left leaning. So the question, and Sally said, as a steward, God, I love that word. It makes sense. Like as a shit, and I can't remember what she said in reference to now. As a steward, shit. I want to run back and find it, but now I don't know where it was in the voicemail. But the point was, she's basically trying to say, I would love to find something that is not left leaning or right leaning. I actually have a email that I get every day, and it's called 1440. Now, Jared or anyone who's a listener, left leaning, right leaning, whatever, I would love for you guys to sign up for 1440. I'm putting the link in the show notes. It's the link is join1440.com, JOIN 1440. And by the way, 1440 is the number of minutes in a day. 1440 minutes is 24 hours in a day. So join1440.com. They are not a sponsor. Maybe they would be a sponsor someday. That'd be pretty cool. But where do I get my news? I typically like, it's bad. I get it from fucking Twitter/X, whatever. Like I do my yoga every morning. If I don't go to a yoga live class, I will do my stretches in the morning because I'm fucking old. And if I don't do it, then I get really stiff. While I'm doing my stretches, I will typically doom scroll through Twitter. And so what do I see? I see all these left leaning things because that's what I tend to heart or like or comment on. So I see more of them. So it's not really that balanced, which I get. But here's what I do. I am subscribed to 1440. It's an email that comes in every day in the morning, and it is a recap of the news. And it is basically it is really quick, like one paragraph or less about, often it's like one sentence about a whole bunch of different things. And they give you a link to see something in more detail. So let's say, hypothetically, 1440 News says, hey, Donald Trump hush money trial starts today in New York. 7 jurors have been seated and they're looking for more. So first of all, first point is they are, in my opinion, incredibly centrist. They work really, really hard to make sure that they are not leaning left or leaning right. And you can click a link to say, hey, if you want to see more, here's an article that we have curated that will give this information to you in more detail. And most of the links that they have are fairly centrist. Some of them are a little left. Some of them, I don't know. Some of the links may be a bit left. I can't remember any links that I've seen that were terribly right, but I'd be really curious to have somebody who is more of a conservative person get 1440 email news and tell me if they feel that the links that 1440 News puts in are more left, because I feel they're pretty centrist. So they give you a whole section on like what's happening today, and then world news and financial news and sports news and all the other shit. 1440, it's really, really fucking good. So my opinion, if you want to find what's my recommendation for the most centrist news possible, okay, the Daily is kind of left-leaning. Yes, I agree. 1440 News, I believe, is super centrist. It is one email a day. It comes early in the morning. I really like it. I read it. You know, Doug says he listens to Michael Barbaro. He can't even pronounce the guy's name. Michael Barbaro. Like, dude, he says his own fucking name every goddamn episode. Do you not listen, dude? Michael Barbaro. Doug listens every day. I definitely don't listen every day. I wait till the end of the week and I'm like, that looks interesting and that looks interesting, and skip the fucking rest. 1440 News every goddamn day. I read the email every day and I feel it's very centrist, very fair, very balanced. Check it out. Call 4242 DJ Doug. Let us know what you think of 1440 News. Anyway, back to the more important stuff. Sally, damn. That was a really nice email. That was really sweet. And for those of you who didn't notice, you know, I tend to be a how do I say this? I study human nature, so to speak. I would say I try as much as possible. Well, you know, when I haven't had so much Fireball, hold on one second. To pay attention to the subtleties of someone's message. And one of the things I hear Sally saying over and over again is she's getting out of her comfort zone. Now, it's very interesting that she says that, because Doug and I have often marveled at the number of listeners we have, because we're almost 1,500 episodes in, and we typically get anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 or 4,000 downloads an episode. But we hear from the same 4, 5, 6, 7 people over and over and over again. So where are the other 2,000, 3,000? And, you know, on the one hand, we could be like, you guys fucking suck. You don't do anything. You don't listen to us. We tell you to call. You don't do anything. But really, the reality is there are people out there who just enjoy listening. And you know what? For those of you out there who just enjoy listening and you don't feel like calling in and you don't want to call in, and it's not that you're uncomfortable. It's like, fuck it. I just don't feel like it. Thank you for listening. And don't let us shame you into feeling bad for not calling in. I mean, we're probably still going to keep trying to do it, but don't let us do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for listening. Now, for those of you like Sally, and I don't want to put words in Sally's mouth, but what I'm hearing is that Sally has started listening to the show, and whether it's because we've guilted her into it or whether because she's like really, really likes the show, she has stepped out of her comfort zone. It seems like she's not the kind of person who's like, fuck it, I don't feel like calling in. It's like, you know what? I really want to call in because I listen to the show and I like what they have to say and I have an opinion. But goddamn, like I get nervous. Like this is going out to thousands of people and they're going to hear my voice and shit. I'm kind of weird about that, which, by the way, I totally sympathize with. And I appreciate it because it means that much more to us, to Doug and myself, that you are stepping out of your comfort zone, that you are calling in, that you're thinking to yourself, God damn, I'm really nervous and I don't know what I'm going to say. And I don't like the sound of my own voice and I don't know what it's going to sound like and all that shit. And you know what? You fucking do it anyway. So Sally, thank you. Anyone else out there who's a listener and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I've thought many, many, many times about calling in and I've just been too nervous to do so. I would encourage you to listen to Sally's messages and just call in. You know what? You don't even need to leave a name. And that is what's great about the Nice Guys on Business. If you're nervous about calling in, Sally was thoughtful enough to call in because, well, I guess we kind of called her out when like she signed up for the Nice Guys Facebook group. We didn't have to do that. That wasn't terribly nice, but you know, we did it anyway. But she did call in and identify herself. You don't have to do that. Like if you're thinking, I'm really nervous. Nobody will ever know who you are. Don't leave your name. That's okay. We just want to hear from you. But for those of you who are like, fuck you guys, I don't want to fucking call it. I just want to hear the fuckery. That's okay too. Don't let us make you feel bad. We're not going to make you feel bad. I mean, we might try, but you know what? We're just going to say it. And whether you feel bad or not, that's on you. Anyway, God, I'm like 40 minutes in. How the fuck do I talk all by my goddamn self for 40 minutes? I guess if I have the catalyst of some great voicemails from Emily and from Jared and from Sally. Thank you, Sally. Sally in Round Rock, Texas. I'm certainly not giving out addresses, even if I had one. But you know what, Sally? We might need to get together for a beer. I would be totally fine if your husband comes along for the beer, because I don't want him getting the wrong impression. And I certainly don't want a gimme 3 steps situation where I'm cutting a rug down at a place called The Jug with a girl named Sally. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to keep going down that road. You know what I mean? Anyone who is not familiar with the Leonard Skinner song, Gimme 3 Steps, go check out the lyrics and you'll know exactly what I mean. I could tack a Classic Rewind episode on here, but I don't know. I just think maybe we need more Jared. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. If you want to hear more of the amazing and wonderful and talented Jared, please stick around because, you know, there might be a few Easter eggs after this. If you miss Doug, he'll be back next week. I mean, probably, hopefully. You better be next week because, yeah, shit, I can't ramble like this all by myself every fucking week. I mean, some people can do it. Actually, speaking of which, Emily, I got to be straight with you. I'm bad. I just don't listen to many other podcasts. I know you do a solo podcast. I don't know how you fucking talk for 30 minutes or more solo every week. I don't know how I could do it. I can do it like once a year, maybe. So Emily, more power to you. I definitely need to stop and listen to some of your episodes sometimes, but you know what? I just don't listen to that many podcasts. So, to Jared, to Emily, to Sally, thank you. We fucking love you guys. For those of you who listen every week or every other week or every fucking once in a while, you know what? We fucking love you guys too. We appreciate it. Doug misses you, and he'll be back next week, and we'll talk more about the fuckery. Thank you all for sticking around. And I'm going to say something that I would say I've never said before, but I know I've done it. I think I did one solo episode before, so I must have said it at one point. But it's one of those things I usually let Doug say, or let the guest say, or I let somebody else say, because it's sort of the shtick of the show that I don't say it. But this time, I'm going to have to say it because there ain't nobody here. Well, there's Cookie. My cat's milking Cookie. Cookie is down here, but I don't think Cookie's going to say it. So I got to say it. Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Thanks for listening. Bartender, Doug here's going to have a Cosmo, and Strickland is going to have a Fireball on the rocks. Not the little glass. Yeah, the big one, the 24-ouncer. Oh, and they'd both like a little umbrella. Just give me the bottle and charge them as much as you can.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Coming to you from California State Prison, Los Angeles County, is Prison Cast with Doug, Pretty Mouth Sandler, and Strickland, Soap on a Rope Bonner. The nice guys on business are about to pleasure you more than you've ever been pleasured before. As a matter of fact, when they're done with you, you won't be able to move. So why don't you go ahead and give them a little star love and recommend them on the Overcast app right now. You know you want to. Come on. Haven't you ever heard of foreplay? Hey guys, come here. Check this out. These fuckers thought they were going to get to listen to Tim Ferriss. We're going to make them listen to the Nice Guys on Business. The Nice Guys on Business presents Real Misfits of Genius. Real Misfits of Genius. today we salute you, Mr. or Ms. Show Notes Writer.
Mr. or Mrs. Show Notes Writer.
Never has one person done so much with so little.
Shit shows don't give you much to work with.
From one host not listening to the other, to the clinking of ice cubes in an empty glass of Fireball.
Oh, I need my Fireball.
If it wasn't for you, the only entertainment we would get from these guys would be Steve O'Brien. And of course, voicemail from Jared.
Not really Jared, just his theme song.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh poet of the show notes, because when it comes to making these guys look good, no one does it better.
Oh, Jared.